For most of the 20th century, if you were an American without a car, without money for a plane ticket, without any other way to cross this country, there was one company that would take you anywhere. Greyhound, the running dog logo, bus stations in nearly every town in America. Today, that network is a fraction of what it used to be. Stations are closing, routes are vanishing, and the company isn't even American-owned anymore. So, what happened to Greyhound? Turns out, nobody killed it in one moment. It's been dying slowly for over 60 years. Greyhound was founded in 1914, and by the mid-20th century, it had become something close to essential infrastructure. This wasn't just a travel company. During the Great Depression, Greyhound buses carried migrant workers looking for jobs. During World War II, they moved soldiers. During the Civil Rights Movement, Greyhound buses carried the Freedom Riders into the most dangerous parts of the segregated South. For generations of students, workers, and families who couldn't afford to fly, Greyhound was the way you got anywhere. At its peak, the company connected thousands of destinations, in cities and small towns alike, through a network of dedicated bus terminals. The decline didn't start with one crisis. It started with a slow shift in how Americans traveled. Through the 1950s and 60s, car ownership exploded across the country. The interstate highway system made driving your own car easier than ever. Then came cheaper air travel. As airline prices dropped over the following decades, flying stopped being a luxury and started being an option for the same working and middle-class travelers Greyhound had always relied on. And then, in 1982, came a decision that reshaped the entire industry, not made by Greyhound, but by Congress. The Bus Regulatory Reform Act deregulated intercity bus travel. Before this law, bus companies were required to serve less profitable rural routes, subsidized by revenue from their busier, high-demand routes. It kept the network wide, even where it didn't make financial sense. Deregulation removed that requirement, and predictably, the routes that didn't pay for themselves, small towns, rural stops across the Midwest and beyond, were the first to go. Greyhound's network, once its greatest strength, started shrinking from the edges inward. By the 2000s, a new threat appeared, from a direction nobody expected. In the northeastern United States, a wave of ultra-low-cost Chinatown bus operators emerged, offering intercity fares roughly half of what Greyhound charged. Between 1997 and 2007, these budget operators captured around 60% of Greyhound's market share in that region alone. Greyhound tried to respond, cutting low-demand rural stops, focusing on busier routes between major cities, adding amenities like Wi-Fi and leather seating, launching a faster Greyhound Express service with fewer stops. None of it reversed the trend. It only slowed it down. Then came 2020. COVID-19 devastated intercity travel across the board, but the recovery wasn't equal. Airlines and Amtrak received substantial federal financial support to survive the pandemic. Intercity bus operators like Greyhound received only a fraction of that aid. The numbers tell the story starkly. Average daily passenger journeys dropped to around 10,000, down from roughly 40,000 in the period before. Greyhound posted operating losses across both 2020 and 2021. That same year, Greyhound Canada shut down entirely, ending nearly a century of service north of the border. By 2021, Greyhound's parent company, the UK's First Group, made its decision. They sold Greyhound to Flix SE, a German company, the parent of Flixbus, already one of Europe's largest intercity coach networks. The deal was reported at approximately $172 million. Think about that for a second. A company that wants to find American travel, millions of passengers, a household name for over 100 years, sold for a fraction of what a single tech startup might raise in a funding round. And the changes after the sale were visible immediately. In 2022, First Group sold off most of Greyhound's remaining physical bus stations to 20 Lake Holdings, a subsidiary of Alden Global Capital, a firm with a reputation for aggressive cost-cutting. One by one, historic Greyhound terminals in cities like Philadelphia, Charlottesville, Louisville, and Oakland closed. Passengers now often wait curbside, no ticket counter, no waiting area, sometimes no shelter at all. Here's what makes Greyhound's story different from a typical corporate collapse. It didn't disappear. Under Flix ownership, the combined company actually reported record revenue in 2022, with strong growth forecast the following year. Greyhound remains technically the largest intercity bus operator in North America. It still serves millions of passengers a year, often the people with the fewest other options, rural residents without cars, low-income travelers, people who simply can't afford to fly. But it's a shadow of what it was. Fewer stations, fewer routes, a brand once built on universal access now serving a smaller, more marginal slice of the country than it used to. So, what actually happened to Greyhound? It wasn't one bad decision or one disaster.
It was 60 years of accumulated pressure. Cars, planes, deregulation, low-cost competitors, a pandemic that hit it harder than its competitors, and finally, an ownership change that prioritized efficiency over the physical presence it once had in nearly every American town. Unlike Pan Am or Kodak, Greyhound never had one single moment where everything ended. It just kept getting smaller, decade after decade, until the company that once defined American travel became something most people don't think about until they need it. If you want to see another company that didn't die all at once, but slowly faded while nobody was really watching, that's coming in a future video. Subscribe so you don't miss it.